أيوة. Yeah. How?
How'd they build them?
Now I consider the oldest pyramid Giza is Chafrin. This is the oldest pyramid. And if we walk around this pyramid, we see a tremendous size of blocks, and one put next to each other. And by weight, which is, I measure it by walking on, see how many yards the square, it comes as a conclusion of 175 ton. So it's impossible to take that theory of Herodotus the Greek that we have used wooden rulers and brick ramps. I think as you saw that disc which found by Dr. Emery, Walter Emery, which is, he said that this is used for a lotus flower. I think it's a spinner. It spins and creates a sound, and with this sound vibration deal with the earth gravity, and this is the only way makes that huge size of a stone weightless. And then with the tip of finger you can move it, not elevated, but it can be moved from place into another. At the Egyptian Museum, this disc is still there, and next to it a mirror to double the power of the vibration of the sound to deal with the earth gravity. That's one way of building of moving the stones and put one upon the other. In my childhood, I climbed the pyramid, and when I'm up there at the top, which is, I don't know how did I make it. The capstone. Yeah. That's what they call capstone. When I'm at the capstone, I found a tiny little book, pilot book, written on it how to go down. Being me and stubborn at the time, I didn't leave the book where it is, but I took it with me. And yes, I didn't say to my mother, Nazira, no. I hide it, and somebody else have it now. So to go down, you not have to face the pyramid, but you face the space and go down by facing the empty space. And this is the only way I was protected by not falling down from the top of the pyramid. Interesting that there is no two pyramids alike. There's no two pyramids alike. When you go inside, you see different form of construction. Cheops pyramid is different from Chafrin, different from Mycerinus, different from, but the similarities is there. The vibration, the sound, if you, wherever you are, it makes that vibration of a sound, and that creates the energy which is needed then for the Sesh, the people of Khemet. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you, Doctor, first of all.
Okay.
Thank you. Back to the two stones,
Yeah.
which became a Holy of Holies.
Mm.
What period of time are you saying that this began to emerge into what became a temple complex?
Before the legend story, before the religion, before 65,000 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, in a sense, what developed was the Trinity on top, as a reflection of religions superimposed upon what basically was.
Well, actually, the Nile flood for many hundreds of thousands of years. And when the flood of the Nile removed rebels to the north, which makes the delta today, there are some small stones be moved with the water, some heavy stones remain where the bed of the Nile is. And this is the place where the water energized these blocks of stones. That is, I mean to say, it's the places is not chosen by somebody. The places is there naturally.
I understand. Yeah. Then, in a sense, what with the Trinity that emerged above it, to follow the analogy, at least energetically, is that the triangle below it would be Mary.
Yeah, that's the triangle below the two blocks of stone.
So that's the womb for the resurrection. So to
The
speak.
womb of the earth itself, and you know, the earth is a life being,
Yeah.
and the beat, it can be measured somehow, like 8 hertz, you know, the slowest beat, and this is the powerful cycle and of the earth itself.
So this became a place then to meet and to give back, and then to, in a sense, to die with awareness and consciousness in
Yeah.
initiation, and then to prepare for a new life
That's the place.
while in body.
Exactly. You go and energize the body there. And women and men, there is no separation of sex then. The only separation of sex exists when men begin to write. You have to put, you're talking about man or woman by adding this feminine T in the language. And as far as I know, that the language doesn't help. The written language doesn't help much, but the fact is it's misguided the session, misguided the people. Then you have one sentence or 2 sentences written on the wall, but the translation depends on the individual, how you take it, how you understand it.
So that the spoken language would have been a different experience.
Yes, the spoken language
Would
is
have been understood depending on who was...
exactly. When we say language here, we address what we're doing. When we say language, we're using the Greeks, les langues, the tongue. But actually, the language in the Khemetan mental is the vibration of the throat. If I'm talking to you, I'm using the vibration of my throat, reaches your hearing system, and that play with your chemical system, make you happy or other way.
Understand.
Yeah.
So the 5 holy days then, in a sense, were days to pay homage to the 5 phases.
Now, this is
of your-
collected in the harvest. This is little before the festivals. The 5 days of the festival comes right after the harvest season. We have 3 seasons, not 4. So the year was divided in 3 seasons. The main season is the harvest season, where part goes to the house, another part goes to the temple. And then you are content that you have done what you're supposed to do. Then you go as a guest of God in the temple, having the feast in the temple, like cooked food and beer and wine. Yeah, interesting that in the temple of Komombo, on the wall, you see people when they waiting for the moment of that festival, where the priests carry the bark, where the shrine of veiled God is taking a place to cycle the temple. People waiting long time, so they talk freely, like sometimes you say bad words. And on the walls of Komombo temple, you have 2 ears on the wall. And perhaps this is what we call today, walls has ears. Yeah. So, like I've paid too much, and you know, something like complaining.
Yeah. If stones could hear. Right?
And there's
Yes.
Yeah, there is a little niche where the high priest is sitting there listening to the... That's a fact. Now, I want you to know that the walls of the temple of today, it is the latest wall built on the same spot. The latest walls built on the same spot, like the temple of Komombo, which is I'm talking about, that's late period temple, maybe 300-400 years BC. But when you dig down below, you get to walls, say, 4,000-5,000 years BC. Yeah. So, you're welcome. Ptolemy, that is the Greek-Roman, and you see names of the Greek and Roman rulers on the walls in Egyptian hieroglyphic, in Egyptian Suf language. And I want to tell you that the Suf is the name of the language, written language in Egypt. And you may hear the phrase here in the European world, you say philosophies. Filio, the children of the Sufi, Filio Suf, the children or the people who take their education of Egypt or of Sufland. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm very delighted to meet the master of this living tradition that's I didn't know was living anymore, and I'd like to know more about how widespread is the practice of the ancient Kemetian tradition, and what sort of practices are, devotional things are done by the people today there in Khemet.
Well, the traditions never die, and it's still there. And it's alive in the language, which is we call the mother tongue. Like the prayers we say to the gods, and where to face and how to do it. These are the traditions that are still alive, still exist. Maybe we've been Arabanized. I want to tell you that Arabs came to Egypt in the late 7th century, 652 AD. And today Egypt considered as one country of many Arab countries. No. Arab country, where the Arabs from is from the Arab Gulf. So you have Iraq and Israel, Palestine, Syria, Egypt, Sudan, North Africa. They addressed now as Arab countries, which is they're not, they're different. But the ancient tradition is still there, and maybe they've been told to say it different way. Ya bait al-Rabb اللي في القلب في القلب. Meanings, oh house of God, what's in the heart is in the heart. Make me call you different name, but you are in my heart. That's one of the ancient traditions.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.